Okay, an update on the Lexmoto Arrow 125, which I believe is also referred to as a Hortian or something like that. It's now 9-and-a-bit-year-old, and I've just taken it on a long trip, camping holiday, and it's come back with a couple of problems, which I'm going to try and sort out. The biggie is that my tank is cracked. I don't know if you can see that line there, but that's a crack and the paint's pushing up through. I thought it was a bit of a rust spot, and I cleaned it up and found out that I thought it was dirty, it was just clean metal. So I painted it, and then when I was going on this long trip, I could see the paint bubbling through, the petrol bubbling through, and it was washing away all the paint, which you can now see stain the tank, which I'm hoping I'll be able to get off. Now I've bought some repair putty, which I'll put in here, so I'm going to try and repair that. So that's job number one. Job number two is I need to change the tyre, because unfortunately it's got a puncture. I don't know why it's got a puncture, but it has, and it's currently filled up with tyre gunk stuff to inflate it to get me home, but it's going to have to be changed anyway. Now what has happened is I was going to change the tyre anyway, because the sides of the tyre walls were going this weird brown colour and the tread was starting to get a bit down, so I was going to change the tyre anyway, so I'm going to be doing that. So that's another job needs doing, and then after that it's just basically a big old service job, and I'm going to change the oil, spark plug, clean the filter out, new air filter. It's had a new battery on this year, its first new battery, so it should in theory then be good to go, but I don't know what's going on there. Something to look into. Anyway, that's an introduction. Let's see how far I get. Okay, so although it's not brilliant there, I would suggest that the crack probably starts about there, radiates through there, and then there's whatever this is here, and then the crack sort of like takes a bit of a diversion and stops about there. Now that there is actually quite a big divot, which looks like it's been backfilled with filler before it's been painted. I'm in two minds whether this bit here might have been a separate section originally and it's been welded in, and it's the weld that's failed, or the join between the weld. But that's where the petrol's coming through. That line there. I'll try and show you with the screwdriver. That line there is where it's coming through the petrol. So, right, time to see if this filler stuff will work. Okay, here we go. Petrol patch putty. Repairs leaks fast on petrol, oil, diesel, water tanks. Queues in 1 hour. Queues on steel lead. So it's making all the right sounds. It is of course petrol, as in petroleum, which is what we have in England. If this was an American product, I guess it would say gasoline. Yeah, it's an English product. Right, let's give it a go. I mean, you see how the paint that I put on got washed off by the petrol, so I'm hoping that it will come off again with the petrol. And it looks like it is, so that's good news. As you can see, the tank's in very good condition, apart from the crack. You can only assume that they just used too thin a metal, especially when I've got the previous tank to this. It's also got a crack in it, but that crack was underneath, again, in an area where it looks like there would have been quite a lot of stretching stress applied when they were manufacturing it. Right, so now I've just got to wait for this stuff to set. Okay, that oil looks a bit darker than I would have liked. It is the oil I put in at the end of the last season, so it has been in there a little while. Right, okay, right, now the next problem is this thing here. This is the oil filter cover, and it's made of a strange self-destructing plasticine material that when you bring a spanner within about 2 feet of it, it just disintegrates. So let's see how this goes. Whoa! That turned. Should point out that I only tried this method because I've got a spare. So if the worst come to the worst, at least I had a get out of jail free card. Well, that filter's clean. I can't see any metal deposits in it, which is good. Seems reasonable. Right, I'll just give this a wash out then and good to go back in. Just so you know, the reason I think it's made the way it is because that filter basically sits in there like that. And the idea is that if the oil filter was to clog up with debris because of neglected oil changes, the filter would lift off its base, and the oil would then just like go around the outside. So although the engine would then be getting unfiltered oil, at least it's not getting starved of oil, which would be a bad thing. Just for information, I've been having trouble with the sump plug leaking oil, and obviously I didn't want to tighten up too hard because it's an aluminium engine and I didn't want to strip the threads in the sump. So someone recommended using these Doughty washers. These are the washers with the little inbuilt oil seals, and they've proven successful so far. They're supposed to be able to take the heat and they're supposed to be able to take the oil, so like I say, it's worked for me so far. Maybe somebody will know why it's a bad idea. Okay, I'm using oil from a local supplier, so this is what I'm going to be putting in, and it's worked so far. I'm a little bit concerned because this engine takes a litre, and that's basically all that's left. But so I better not spill any other. Okay, a week has passed. This video is going to come to a bit of an abrupt end. I thought I'd sanded this down reasonably well. I didn't want to sand it all the way down because obviously I needed some thickness to try and hold the tank together, and it was a flat surface. And I thought I sanded it down reasonably well, but obviously when I've cleaned it all down and put this metallic paint on, it's really highlighted all the little, you know, deviations in it. But I'm going to leave it like that for the summer, and then come the end of the season, I'm going to redo it. So that's that job temporarily fixed. But also I'm a bit concerned about why I keep getting staining here and here, because I thought I cleaned this tank down before I'd started working on the repair, and it's gone petrol stainy colour again. So does that mean it's got another issue here on this seam here? Well, that's what I'm going to have to try and find. That's what I'm going to keep an eye on again until the end of the year. It's got its brand new tyre on, Continental. Another fault which I don't think I've mentioned, don't think I've seen, I don't think I've shown you on videos, but there's a crack in the headlight shell there as well. I should point out this bike's never been dropped or anything like that. I mean, why I'm getting these cracks and things on a bike which is not thrashed, not off-roaded, is, yeah, anyway. I am of course now always going to make sure that I have my kind of tyre fixer in the back, because that was ultimately got me home. So until the next one, that's it.